having a little dinner time here. Look at this. Some electronics. Hey guys, welcome to the TDubsKid show. And I've been working pretty hard on this van. However, it still has a long ways to go, but I thought I would just do like an update and show you guys what I have so far. And every time I take my TW out on the 4Runner and go camping, it just like motivates me even more to get the van done. But be sure to stick around guys, because we're gonna have a lot of fun. And at the end of this video, I do go on a little 4Runner / TW adventure. Okay, let's go ahead and start with what I've been doing on the exterior. And I have been working on Raptor lining this thing. And I've actually been getting it all down to bare metal and using their anti-corrosive epoxy primer underneath, which is supposed to work really well with their Raptor liner. And I also put a new grill on this thing. And it's not on here right now because I've been painting it and I'm gonna be doing some engine work here soon. But I got some cool sealed LED headlights and everything, and some really cool looking side lights. And the new grill has a Ford symbol on it, so I actually deleted the Ford symbol up here and I fiberglassed over it because this hood is fiberglass to begin with, so it should work pretty well. And as you can tell, my Raptor lining job is not perfect. I had some problems with it clogging up, and that's why it's all kind of bunched up right there. But that's okay, it's just a big white van, doesn't need to be perfect. I just want it to look, you know, at least somewhat decent, not like a creepy old van. I also did like some 15% tint on the 2 front windows, and I've been doing 5% tint on all of the rear windows, and I've resealed these all the way around. And these windows actually already had a factory tint, so it's probably more like 2%. It's like super dark, you can't even see in there at night when the light's on, but you can see out pretty well. And one of the craziest things I did on this van, and what has been taking me quite some time, is I actually deleted these 2 big side windows. And I went to the junkyard and cut out panels from work vans in the same area, and I sized it to fit, got all the paint off, and then just welded it all the way around. And it's actually turning out pretty well. So I pretty much did one section at a time. I started with the roof up here because these channels were rusting. It was just surface rust, so I just cleaned it all up and I got the whole roof to bare metal, and I did some epoxy primer and Raptor liner on it. And this is just some dirt right there. However, I am having an issue where it's actually bubbling up, which is quite unfortunate. And I've actually just realized that when I started making this video. So I'm really bummed out about that. I'm not exactly sure 100% what I'm gonna do. But at this point, I probably wouldn't recommend a Raptor liner. And the thing is I, followed all the instructions. I spent so much time prepping everything extremely well. But that is life. I got to figure out what's under those bubbles, if it's the Raptor liner or the primer is lifting off the metal. I would definitely not recommend Raptor liner, or at least their primer, because it's the primer that's lifting off. And I'm not sure why, because I prepped it really well, and you can see all those scratch indents in there. But everything else, like on the sides, seems to be doing just fine. This stuff seems pretty durable, if it doesn't lift off. I kind of ran out of time in the fall. It got too cold and snowy, so I just have this side left to do and these two doors. And I think it is the primer lifting off, because when I was using an air gun, it would just kind of blow some of this epoxy primer that I kind of did over the window delete to keep it from rusting. And this is just a little bit of epoxy to fill some little welding pinholes that don't go all the way through, but I just didn't want them starting to rust. But the reason I wanted to get it down to bare metal is because, you know, the paint was like flaking off, so I didn't want to just go over that. However, I probably shouldn't have even bothered. Also, I have the bumpers off of here right now, and I'm gonna probably paint those black. I was gonna use Raptor liner, but I don't know now. And as you can see right here, it doesn't flake off easily on everything. So not exactly sure what happened, but just super bummed. On another note, I got a ladder that's gonna go on this back door. I've already sized it up and drilled all the holes and everything before I painted it. And once the roof is actually finished, I'm going to put some roof rails on the top that are aluminum, that are made by Vantech. And on the rear left side, there's just gonna be it's probably like 2x4s, kind of creating a deck. And then on the right side in the rear, I'm going to be installing this huge Thule roof box. And I actually got this thing for free because it was kind of broken in the back on the lid. And I actually just fiberglassed it. And I used Raptor liner on this, and I used their adhesive promoter because it's just plastic, and I prepped it really well and everything. I haven't had any problems with the Raptor liner on there. It just seems to be that epoxy primer that is supposed to work with it. But I also fabricated some new plates because those were rusting out, and one of the arms that lifts up the lid was broken, and I was able to find a new one of those. So it's in pretty good shape. The keys work. It opens up on both sides. There's a lot of room in there, but that'll be cool to put on top of the van in the rear, give you like extra storage space to, you know, throw some stuff. And then on the front, there's gonna be 300-watt solar panels in a row. So like one here, one there, and then one there. And in the middle, there's going to be a max air roof vent. And I thought about it for a long time about doing a high roof conversion. And I was looking in the junkyard quite a lot, and I couldn't find one I exactly wanted. I found a few like off an ambulance, but they seemed kind of like a pain. And they had these like steel plates on top of them and this whole like roll cage built in. I kind of wanted one that's like kind of aerodynamic and not super high, but high enough so I could stand up on the inside. And I decided against it, but now that I'm having that problem with the roof, I might actually go look at the junkyard again and see if anything showed up. Might as well just cut the roof off and stick a high roof on there, but we'll see about that. So inside, this is something I've been working on through the winter, and that is the bed. This thing is turning out super cool, and I actually designed it all, and I welded it all together. It's a 2x2 16 gauge square tubing that I've used, and this is 1x2 right here, just as a little bit of support. But check this out. So I have these little latches. I have it on gas struts, and I'm actually going to turn this into a gear wall. And I got these Mole panels by Built Right Industries, and I got 2 of them, and they're gonna fit there almost perfectly. And I got these little aluminum spacers because you need a little bit of room to thread the straps through. And then I can attach all kinds of MOLLE pouches and gear under here, because normally this space is just wasted. Like nobody's gonna put anything right here, so might as well put a bunch of gear right there. But it is actually turning out really good, actually better than expected. And the square tubing cross member is attached to the bed board, and it's supported by these little baskets I made and welded on. And I actually have these little dampers right here, so when I close it, it kind of loses lift at the end, but just makes it nice and soft when it closes. But also under here, I'm going to have an LED strip inside one of those aluminum LED channels with like a milky white cover, so it basically will look like a neon light. And it's kind of like at 45 degrees, so it'll shine down kind of this way, and when it's closed, it'll shine down low and then towards the back as well. And I'm gonna run the wiring down through here, and I'm actually gonna drill a hole because this also acts as a wire conduit. So I can run wire through it, and it goes into the taillight area and out towards the front, which will be the cabinets and everything. Probably just drill straight through, and all my electrical stuff is gonna be right back here. And then on this side, I'm gonna have probably a 20-gallon water tank that fits right here, and I'm gonna have some room right here in front of it with the water pump and some valves and stuff, so I can, you know, suck water into it and also drain it right through the floor if I need to get all the water out for some reason. And also I plan on having the diesel heater kind of like right in this area, and there'll be a little vent in the front that goes outwards, kind of like right below the bed. And I'm also going to have some drawers right here that open out towards the front, so when you're in the inside you can get to them. And then right here beside those, I'm going to have this decently sized gear wrench toolbox. This thing is pretty cool. It locks, and it's got drawers. And I'm actually kind of in the process of just getting tools little by little. And when I do all the engine work, I'm going to figure out exactly what tools I'm going to need and make sure I have those in here. But the toolbox is going to be mounted to kind of a slide that I'm going to build, and there might be a little bit of storage underneath, just depending on how much room I have. And they'll be locking heavy duty sliders, and the whole toolbox assembly and everything will slide out to about here. So I can open it up and get to all my tools back here, because this is basically going to be my garage area. And if I have room, I might even put like a small vise or something on it. I think that would be kind of cool. That way when you're not using it, you can lock it up, close it, and then get it out of the way, so you can store extra gear back here and stuff. And even with the water system and the electrical, there's still going to be plenty of room to like just kind of store stuff, especially like moto camping gear and stuff like that, because I want to be able to take this places and probably leave on the bike, you know, to go moto camping for like a night or so and have a nice little place to come back to. And speaking of the TW200, I think I'm going to put a class 4 hitch receiver on here just in case I need to like carry something heavy, because this is a 350 van. I think it's rated for about 10,000 pounds. However, you need like a trailer brake and stuff. But mainly I'm just gonna use it to carry the TW. And I actually quite like my motorcycle carrier that I have used quite a lot on the 4Runner. It's done pretty good. However, I might get something a little bit different. I might get the MX hauler, just because it's so much faster and easier to get the bike on and off, and you can actually use it as a center stand, and it like lifts up and down. But that thing is pretty sweet. They are a little pricey, but I think it would be worth it. But I might just start out with the one I have for now. Also, I did fix this quarter panel rust. You can see a little bit of where it's not perfect, but I basically cut out a panel in the junkyard that wasn't rusted, and I cut out the rust, sized it up, and welded it all on. And here's the back side. I actually put some seam sealer over the welds. It's definitely nice to get rid of all that rot. Also, I did drop the fuel tank and put a new fuel pump in there, and that fixed my fuel delivery issue that I was having. And I did a lot of frame restoration around the tank where you normally can't get to, and that worked out pretty well. I used a Delphi pump, so it should be good for a long time. So let's check out the inside. And I actually put some kill mat in the doors. Listen to this. Made a huge difference, and I didn't even use that much, but I'm going to be doing a lot of sound deadening in the van. And I also fixed the rusted section under where the driver's feet goes. This is a really common area. I looked at pretty much all of the vans in the junkyard, and they all had rust right there, but I think I did a really good job at fixing it. And it wasn't all rotted out like on the underside, it was mainly just up here, but I did a lot of rust proofing and stuff like that with a bunch of Eastwood products, and I think that's going to work out really well. I also got some really cool looking seats out of the junkyard that came out of Chateau Econoline. They almost look like van racing seats, and they have the armrest still and everything. They just look really cool. And I did some cool LED lighting on them and everything. I need to paint the floor. There's a little bit of rust right there. Obviously, I'm not going to be using the Raptor Liner anti-corrosive epoxy primer, because that stuff is a disaster. But I'll probably just use Eastwood's Encapsulator Platinum, which is the silver stuff. I've had really good luck putting this stuff on bare metal where it doesn't flake off or anything. I haven't had any issues with it. just seems to be a really good, strong paint. Also, I made a really cool custom center console that goes right there in the middle, made out of blue pine. That turned out really well. And I'm also gonna put new carpet up here and like a bunch of sound deadening mat. I also have some structural panels that I took out of the work van that I'm going to bolt on all the way around. I'm gonna actually use like little riv nuts, and I could probably like bolt other stuff to that as well. I need to do a little bit more rust proofing and painting on the inside. And once I'm done with the bed, I'm gonna take everything apart and paint the floor and the bed frame. I used a rust encapsulator platinum on the frame here as well, just to keep it from rusting. I just love this stuff. Like you can see where I kind of got too much, and it does not peel off at all. Amazing stuff. I should have used that instead of the Raptor epoxy primer. But as far as the bed goes, this is kind of just temporary. This is the little self-inflating air mattress I use in my 4Runner. I just threw it in here to check it out and see how it'd fit and everything. Eventually I'm gonna put like a nice 5-inch memory foam mattress in here so it's super comfortable. And I just got some sheets and a comforter, just testing it out. But also this part on the front lifts up as well. And I actually have a backing that goes under here, and this is gonna be a locking storage compartment. You know, it's only 2 inches high, but it's a huge area. And I actually tested it out, and you can put a lot of stuff in here. It's pretty cool. But I'm in the middle of making the locking mechanism for this, and I'm also gonna have a little handle that kind of lifts up so you can open it a lot easier. And I'm gonna have some lights in here that shine down into the storage compartment. I'm also gonna have a separate locking little safe here as well. It actually fits. I may have to kind of router out just a little part for the lock that may stick up a little bit. That's going to be bolted to the frame, so you could put like valuables or a firearm in there or something, and just make it super difficult for thieves to steal anything in here. Because I had people break into my 4Runner. They broke the back glass a while back, and they stole a bunch of tools, and it was kind of sad. So, and also having drawers under here might throw thieves off a little bit too, especially if there's a mattress. I mean, I guess they could check under the mattress, but they might see drawers and just look in the drawers and not think anything could be in this little section right here. But it is pretty cool how little room this bed frame takes up. The goal with this van build is to utilize as much space as possible. Yeah, you can see my welds, and I actually made cutouts in this inner skin on the van body, and they insert into there, and I welded it all the way around. And there's a little support here that goes to the wheel well, and that's all welded all the way around, and I took care of that on the other side to make sure it won't rust. But I just wanted to make it, you know, as sturdy as possible. And here's the square tubing that goes all the way back to the tail light area. Be great for running wires. But anyways, I'm only 5'4", so I fit sideways in this van, no problem. And I still have like a foot or a foot and a half of room between my head and my feet. And it is a full-size width, so I can, you know, spread out and be super comfortable. And I love having these 4 windows, so it gives you a 180-degree view of everything. And also, I got these in the junkyard. The van did not come with these, but these windows pop out to give you some ventilation. And that'll be perfect if the roof fan is like further up in the middle, because you can just turn that on, open these up, and it'll just flow air right over the bed. It'll be perfect. However, I do have to figure out some kind of a bug screen deal with these, because mosquitoes would be all up in here in the summertime. Well guys, that's pretty much all I have done on the van so far. It's kind of hard to get a lot of work done when it's cold and snowy outside, but we're getting into some good weather. So this summer, doing a bunch of work around the engine. It runs fine and everything, but I don't think the water pump has ever been replaced. So I'm just gonna kind of reseal everything and replace the radiator and replace a lot of like kind of wear items, and also the timing chain, because that's behind the water pump. And I'm gonna pull the oil pan off and do the rear main seal because that's leaking, and it just makes sense to kind of like do it all at once, and new belts and like hoses and all that good stuff, just because it's an old engine. And also I'm going to be like restoring all of like the surface rust and kind of just coating the frame rails and underneath the van. Just make sure it's not going to like rust out anywhere. But the rust is really not too bad on this van compared to like vans from out east. So I definitely think it's worth fixing up and just to prevent rust in the future. But that'll be a good thing to do now that the weather is getting nicer. And also I got to finish all of the bodywork and paint work, and unfortunately, I got to redo the roof, but that's good that I know that because I also want to repaint the floor, and I was going to use that primer on the floor as well, but not anymore. I'm not. But my goal is to have all of the engine work and the body work and the paint work done by this fall. And I would also like to get the insulated subfloor done as well, and everything up front with the seats in so I can have it drivable, and also like the stereo so I can use the radio. But it would be nice to just get like all of the like kind of bare bones basic stuff done, and plus I have the bed, so that way I can like actually, you know, start using it as I'm like building, you know, the inside by this fall or winter, maybe even spring. It always takes a little bit longer than I think, especially because I've been trying to make videos on everything I do. But I try to put all of the videos on my other channel, which is called 4Kid. I'll leave a link down in the description if you want to check out that channel. I also do like a lot of other like car related stuff because that's kind of what I do for my profession. I'm a mechanic, but it's probably going to be a long time before I get the electrical system done. And that brings us to this video's sponsor, Zendur. They were kind enough to send me their Super Bass 600M power station to try out. This thing uses lithium-ion cells and has a 607 watt-hour capacity, meaning when fully charged, you can output about 607 watts for 1 full hour straight. A lot of other power banks this size can output 600 watts, but only have around 300 watt hours. It weighs just under 15 pounds, and I like how compact it is with such a high power capacity. Here it is next to my old power station with only 230 watt hours, and it's only slightly bigger in physical size. It's got a sturdy, high quality feeling handle and a sleek aluminum exterior, which not only looks good, but is used as a heatsink, which removes the need to have a cooling fan. This saves power and allows it to have an IPX3 dustproof and waterproof rating. But most importantly, it's quiet, which is perfect if you want to run a heated blanket. When I tried doing this on my old power station, the fan would cycle on and off constantly. I ran my heated blanket all night with this one and it didn't make any noise. It can be used in harsh environments from 14 to 104 degrees Fahrenheit. It's got 4 backlit buttons you hold to power on and off each power system. The screen gives you all the info you need, including inputs, battery level, estimated times, power going in and out, and which outputs are turned on. For charging the Super Bass, it comes with a car charger and power brick that plugs into a standard wall outlet. The charge inputs are right here. DC is for the included power brick, and PV is for an 18 to 20 volt solar panel that's not included. It also has a bidirectional USB-C power delivery port that can charge it up to 100 watts. I tested the Super Bass with this portable folding solar panel and separately with one of the panels that I'm going to be using on the van, and they both worked just fine. With the AC power brick, it takes about 5.5 hours to fully charge, but you can actually use multiple charge sources at the same time to charge it faster. You can also charge and discharge at the same time without any issues. The car charger works just fine, and the car socket is actually bidirectional. For the outputs, let's start with 12 volt DC. There are 2 barrel jacks rated for 6 amps. These would be great for running 12 volt LED lighting, and I did use these to charge my FPV LiPo packs. I used the car socket to run a 12 volt heated blanket on this trip, and it looks like you could easily run it all night long on high with this power station if you really wanted to. This power station also has a car start feature, and my 4Runner battery actually happened to be dead. So to use this, you just double tap the DC button, plug it into your car outlet, and you may need to turn the key to accessory depending on how your car is wired. but it charges your car battery without even opening the hood. It will blink as it's charging, and after about 5 minutes, it'll tell you if it has completed or failed. First time, didn't quite get it, but I had my blower motor on full blast, and I tried it a second time, and I was able to get it started. Not as quick as one of those portable jump boxes, but it's a great feature to have and could get you out of a tough spot. And then you could just charge the power station back up from the same cable once you get your vehicle started. Next, let's power on the USB ports, and it's got 3 regular 2.4 amp USB ports and the one 100 watt max USB-C port. These are great to charge a lot of my GoPro batteries, lights, phone, and other video stuff. I also tried out a MagSafe charger on the USB-C port, and it works great. I also powered these LED string lights off of a USB port on my camping trip, and it worked out really good. The Super Bass could also power them for 72 hours straight. Next we have AC, and these are basically your 110 volt house plugs. The inverter is rated for 600 watts constant and 1000 watts peak. It has a pure sine wave symbol, and I can confirm it is putting out a beautiful pure sine wave and pretty close to 110 volts. Pure sine wave is what you want with an inverter so you can run sensitive electronics like this editing laptop that I have, but I would avoid other power stations if they have a cheap modified sine wave inverter. Also, I just learned that you can switch this inverter from 50 to 60 Hertz if you just triple tap the AC button. This power station has 2 AC outlets, and it's going to come in handy as I'm building the van and making videos. I can use them to charge up my power tool batteries, charge my drone batteries, and even run small corded power tools like these Eastwood metal shears. I was even able to run a solder iron and a small heat gun to repair the broken cable for my solar panel. I just think it would be great to be able to edit videos and get some work done out in the middle of nowhere for a change and not be so reliant on the power grid. I also picked up this portable 300 watt kettle so I could boil water with this power station and make some amazing espresso with some incredible views while camping. Worked out perfectly because it was crazy windy outside and I didn't have to worry about having an open flame in the 4Runner. Most power banks have a small LED light or no light at all, but with this one, the entire backside is an LED panel. Just hold down the LED button to power it on, starts out in normal, single press to cycle it to bright, SOS, flash, and then off, or just long press it to turn it off at any time. It gives you a nice flood pattern and is very bright. On my car camping trip, I was able to run some string lights for about 5 hours, charge my phone, boil 2 pots of water, charge a GoPro battery, have my heated blanket on high for a bit, and then leave it on low all night long. And I still had 44% power left, and I was able to charge it back up to 87% with just the car socket on my 2-hour and 15-minute drive home. They also have a 1000 watt version in the same form factor, just a couple inches longer, and their Super Bass 2000 Pro could handle anything you could plug into a standard house outlet. But the Super Bass 600M seems to be a great quality and well thought out power station, and I can't wait to use it on more car camping moto adventures. Hey guys, it is mail time! And this is the first time doing this in the van, and I actually got this neat little stool. Like, check this out. It opens up and you can put it at different levels. It's kind of cool, it locks in place and everything, but it's perfect for the van because I can't stand up in here. I have to like hunch over all the time, but maybe I'll find a high roof now, who knows. But anyways, we'll start out with this, and this actually isn't mail, but Moto Pumps and Son actually came out here and we did some riding together. I showed him some really fun single track and I think they had a good time, and he gave me this Moto Pumps package. So let's check it out really quick. It says made in the USA. And wow, check this out. It actually says designed, engineered, and built in the USA. But it comes with the pump itself, a bunch of wiring, and a little slime tire gauge. So the end of this is an SAE connector, and I actually have one of those on my bike, but it actually comes with one that you plug into your battery, and it has a built-in fuse. And you basically just kind of zip tie this down by the carburetor. Basically, this is just a tire inflator, and this thing is pretty small, not too big at all. But it also comes with a cigarette lighter adapter. We'll just go ahead and test it out really quick. Plug it into a cigarette lighter with the switch. Definitely pumps out air. So that would definitely be nice to have, especially if you like to air down on the trails and you still have to ride back. It's also nice it has a little tire pressure gauge as well. Next, Richie Arnold over at 3Dub200 actually sent me some of his new hats that he's making. They're pretty cool. Your basic trucker style hat. It's got a TW200 logo on there with the mountains. It actually looks really cool. I think I'm gonna keep this one because I like the black and gray. And then I'm gonna probably do a giveaway on my Instagram and give away this hat and maybe one of those switch panels that he sent me. He sent me quite a few of them, and I have not worn this one yet. It's still got the cardboard inside of it. Be sure to check out 3Dub200. I think he actually made his own website. He's got a lot of cool stuff for the TW200. Also, a while back, he made me some cool emblems for the van. But we got one that is Camp Wagon. The other one, it's a little bit smaller, but we have T-Dubs Wagon. I think I'm gonna go with the T-Dubs Wagon, but let me know what you guys think down below, because it's no longer a club wagon. It was really cool of him to send me that. Thank you, Richie Arnold. Also, he got me some valve covers, and I believe he actually Cerakoted this, and he had a friend laser engrave all of it. I guess he got these out of the junkyard, but I can't believe he did this. It says 460 Econoline on the side there, and on the top it's got the Ford logo, and it says built by 4-Wheel Kid. That is like the coolest thing someone has ever made me. The only problem is that I think this came off of a truck, and the only difference is I have an engine oil filler relocation because it's not easy to get to if it was right here. It basically attaches to this, and then there's like a tube that goes up. So that's the only problem. And he did send me the other side as well, and I think this one is actually the exact same. Basically the PCB screws in right there. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to use these or not, but it's the thought that counts. Worst case scenario, someday when I have my own garage, I'm going to be able to hang these up on the wall, and that would definitely be cool. But yeah, those would look really cool on the van engine when you take off the engine cover. But thank you so very much, Richie Arnold. Next, guys, I guess we'll open a letter. It's from Tomek. It says, hey, recently found your channel, enjoying the off-road adventures. May have sent you stickers already. I started doing sticker swap with the other motovloggers and lost track. Yeah, I don't think I have gotten your stickers yet, but that was like actually pretty cool. So I don't think I've sent you any stickers. I'll definitely send you some of mine as well. Next one is from Neil. Hey, TDubsKid, thanks for sending the stickers to me and my son, Daniel. They came in just in time for Christmas. Cool, I'm glad you got them. And this one's a bit long, but I will definitely read this. And I guess there's a lot of Sasquatch stories in British Columbia. And thank you so much, Neil and Daniel. God bless you guys. And as far as these go, I'll be right back. Oh yeah, we got a nice Sasquatch tattoo right there. Okay, next we have a Christmas postcard. It says Happy Holidays. On the back it says, Addie says Merry Christmas. And I believe that's Japanese, but pretty cool. Next we have one from Rob, Ontario, Canada. It says, TDubsKid, thanks for the great videos. You will find enclosed hunting knife, photo of my 2018 TW200, and Kipnoto trailer. Stuff for your van. All the best, Rob. Whoa. Dude, you didn't have to do that. Thank you so much. You gave me 40 bucks. I guess that's for the van. I will definitely use that. Thank you. Oh, there's also a zip tie in here. Could come in handy. Here is a photo of Rob's TW200. And I guess he has a trailer for it. That is pretty cool. That thing looks like it's ready for adventures and like some serious moto camping. I've always wondered what it would be like to use one of those trailers on the back of the bike. I don't know if it'd be sketchy or what. It looks like he gave me a little keychain with a bunch of numbers you can put in there. I think that's for, so you can put your like phone number in case you lose your keys. It's got like a little keychain thing. And check this pocket knife out. What? This is unreal. Like, look how small it is. It's tiny. It's like small as a penny. I've never seen anything like this. That's like the coolest little pocket knife I've ever seen. Thank you so much, Rob. I can't believe you sent me all that. Thank you for everything. But I'll definitely put the money towards the van. This thing is gonna get done, whether it takes me another year or 5 years. It's gonna happen. I think it'll definitely be worth the struggle. But it would just be really cool to just kind of live anywhere. You can just go off the grid for like a week or two at a time. Okay, we got one more package. Highway dirt bikes. They sent me a whole new handguard and mirror set. And from what he was telling me, it was just kind of like a thank you for, you know, promoting highway dirt bikes handguards, but that was like never really my intention. I just think highway dirt bikes makes like the best handguards ever. Just the way they're tapped into the bars, and they're just super sturdy, unlike other ones I've used that are kind of flimsy and they start bending and breaking after a while. But I still have my original ones I put on there years ago, and they're still doing great. It looks like he gave me 3 sets of the plastic parts. It's pretty cool because they get beat up. 2 sets of mirrors, and he gave me a really cool switch, which I do not have yet. And I believe it's just an on-off switch. That's pretty cool. It looks like it's waterproof, and it just attaches to the handlebar. And also he was telling me about this bar clamp for the TW200. And basically this just replaces your stock bar clamps, and then the handguards bolt to it and makes it a lot more sturdy. It's made out of aluminum. He did send me this a while ago, so hopefully by now they're selling these. I love these mirrors. And just the way that they fold into the handle guard is just perfect. So you're not breaking them and messing them up all the time. Unless you forget to fold them in, which I have done, and I have broken one. That was kind of my fault because I didn't fold them in when I was riding off-road. But that is pretty cool. But I'll have to like make a video on this and see how it fits on the TW200. But anyways, guys, that's all of the mail for this time. And you can kind of see it in my face, but the sun is starting to set. It's part of the reason why I want to, you know, start living van life. You like cool sunsets and different scenery all the time. You can always mix it up and do something different. And you got your bike on the back, van breaks down, need to go to the parts store, just ride it to town and get an alternator or starter or whatever, throw it on the back of the TW, ride back here, put it in with my tool setup, and I'd be good to go. I honestly think a van and like a dual sport motorcycle is like the perfect combo. That way I can just find a place and kind of just hang out, and I don't have to be driving the van around wasting a bunch of gas, and just hop on the TW200, get like 80 miles a gallon, and good to go. But anyways, guys, even with the bad news about the roof, let's go ahead and have a little bit of fun and take the TW200 out on the 4Runner to somewhere I have not been before. It doesn't look like it, but there's a bit too much snow in the mountains still, and even Rampart Range is closed for melt season. I'm gonna head out to Pawnee National Grasslands, and I've never been there before, but it should be pretty interesting. I guess we'll grab a few things on our way. The wind is so bad. If I let go of the steering wheel, look what happens. It goes pretty quick. The TW200 will feel right at home out here on the farmlands. Wow, I had no clue there was a huge lake over here. Oh my goodness, look at all the tumbleweeds. Here they all come tumbling down the hill. I made it to the middle of nowhere. It's not as windy as it was before, but check out the view from the driver's seat. It's pretty nice. I'm not gonna unload the TW tonight. The sun's gonna be going down really soon. So that way, if anything happens, I can just drive right on out of here. And check out all of those windmills off in the distance. They look kind of cool. Alright guys, it is really windy and quite chilly, and I actually just got my slippers on here, and I'll just give you guys a quick tour of the Stealth Runner. You see inside there at all, but obviously I got my TW on the back, and this thing's been holding up really well, even off-road. But I'll go ahead and get out of this wind, come in here. Got a place for my shoes, and you can turn the light on. That runs off the car battery, so I don't want to leave it on for like super long, but it's nice to have a lot of bright light right here when you're taking off your shoes. And I got a bunch of water just thrown back in there. Just brought water bottles this time. I'm only staying one night. And then on here, I have a little trash bag, and I actually have mini trash bag liners. And I pretty much made window coverings for all of the windows, and most of them, they fit in here super well because there's this like groove pretty much all the way around, and it just sticks in there. Super easy to just throw on and take off when you need to. And I got window coverings in here as well. I have gaffer's tape on the outside of these, and the front ones I have gaffer's tape on both sides. That way, if you're looking in through the front windshield, it's just dark up here. Because I have some curtains that I'm able to close. And they got little magnets on them. And you can actually tie these to the end if you want to make sure no light is leaking through. But anyways, I just got my motorcycle helmet and tools and a bunch of things like throw down in there. My backpack with my FPV quad. And then if we spin around right here, we have my bed. And I actually have this cool kind of like self-inflating foam and air mattress. It's super comfy and it insulates fairly well. And I just actually have real sheets and a comforter just on here. And this is just kind of temporary, but I have a bunch of string lights. I just got this like little backpacking table set up here. I have all my clothes and stuff in here, and I got some extra blankets. And this one is actually a 12-volt heated blanket. I'm gonna try that out on the power bank tonight, so it should be pretty cool. And I also do have a blackout window thing for the rear window as well. But I just got my laptop thrown in back there. I'm gonna do some video editing tonight. I got a nice little battery operated rechargeable fan, some paper towels, toilet paper if needed. And I just have like a car organizer thing that's got, you know, a bunch of stuff I normally carry in the vehicle, and all my camera stuff, a bunch of food and stuff like that. That sun is going down, so I'm just gonna hang out in here and relax. It is super nice to be inside when it's all cold and super windy out there. I'm feeling some instant noodles with shrimp. And just plug it in, turn on AC, and we'll set it to boil. And look at that, pulling a little under 300 watts. This water kettle's pretty cool because it tells you the temperature. And check that out, it's only taking us down about 7%. Go ahead and stop that. And pour it up. We also got some white cheddar popcorn. I always loved this stuff when I was a kid, especially camping. It's my favorite. And we got some beef jerky as well. It's really nice to have something hot to eat when you're camping. It's definitely nice to be able to do this inside without open flames, especially when it's so windy outside. That would have been like near impossible too. But it's just super fast and convenient to warm water up with a power station. I don't think we have to worry about bears out here. So now I'm just working on a moto camping video. However, my battery's getting kind of low. So we'll go ahead and plug it in. And you can see it's now charging. All right, it's getting a little bit late, but I want to go ahead and swap out my GPS module. These things get a little weird after you've used them for a while. Super cheap, but I just got a little bit of hot glue. I got a new one right here, and I like to put a little dab of hot glue on there just to keep that connector from coming off. So we'll go ahead and plug in the hot glue gun. And it's really not even that power hungry. Ooh, I'm getting tired. It's pretty chilly, but I got this heated blanket, and it's actually 12 volt. Plug this in, and we gotta turn on the DC. It's got this controller here. Let's just flip it on high for now, and then once it's all warmed up, I'll probably put it on low. And it looks like it could last about 7 hours. So good. Wow, that's probably the best coffee I've ever made while camping. I would even say it's better than Starbucks, and honestly Starbucks isn't even that good. It's kind of gone downhill. But this specific Wakako espresso machine only does the little Nespresso pods, but I kind of like that just because it's a lot quicker and easier to clean up when you're camping. All right, guys, I'm gonna do some riding. I'm getting a little bit of a late start, but I don't know, I just felt like relaxing today. And I woke up early to get the sunrise, and then I went back to sleep and slept for a while, but I kind of needed some sleep. So I think I'm ready to go. So we'll lock the 4Runner up. But like, look at that. It's like completely blacked out. It goes into a black abyss. You can't see anything. Maybe just very small outline of a seat, possibly. Something really important is to save this spot on my GPS. There's the coordinates right there. I'll go ahead and hit save. That way, if I get lost, I'll be able to hopefully find my way back to the 4Runner. This watch has actually saved me from getting lost in the forest one time. Me and this girl were hiking. She got us lost. And it was like starting to rain and like we were soaked. Thunder and lightning. It's sketchy. But we'd have totally been lost if I didn't have that watch. I'm not too cold yet. I got my Carhartt jacket and a hoodie underneath, and that seems to be doing well enough. The Carhartt definitely blocks a lot of the wind. Hold on one second. I'm just wearing my cat work boots. The laces out of the way, especially on my left side, so it doesn't get like sucked into the chain. But yeah, I didn't really bring all my like full-on, you know, riding gear. I just got some knee pads, some black jeans, the cat boots and Carhartt, my helmet and gloves. It's like such a pain to bring all my gear with me and put it all on and then take it all off. It's just like there's so much. It takes up so much room in the 4Runner. However, I do have that roof box now, so it'll probably be a lot easier to store it all up there. But I'm just like cruising off-road, you know, I don't expect anything super gnarly. And mainly I'd wear all that stuff for the road. Oh, there's a little bathroom over here. That's handy. There's like nobody here. It says motor vehicles per minute only on numbered roads. This doesn't count over here. Yeah, horses, bicycles, hiking. I kind of knew that would be the case. That's all right. I don't mind exploring on this kind of road right here. Go a lot faster than in my 4Runner. So yeah, camping in my 4Runner like this with my bike on the back and I got power and everything, it just makes me want to get the van done even faster. I mean, the 4Runner is not bad, but it is pretty cramped in there, especially when you have like a lot of stuff. And the van just has so much more room. If I didn't have the van, I might just like do a little tiny build out on the 4Runner. So I lived in my 4Runner for like a whole week just to try it out, see what it was like. It was awesome. And I still went to work like every day. And we have like a really nice shower there. It's got like a door that closes and everything at one of the buildings. Ooh, wide open to the middle of nowhere. But yeah, it's just like kind of comfy to just wear more like normal stuff. And of course I got my knees protected and, you know, some good work boots that are really gonna protect my feet. I think I totally could get lost out here. Two-wheel drive van would can get up there like no problem. We don't need four-wheel drive for as much stuff as people think. As long as you got some good tires. Let's go this way. All the semi-trucks drivers around here wave at you. It's pretty cool. Boring road. There's a lot of oil drilling operations around here. Home on the range. This is like a different planet out here. And that might be why I have such good cell phone service, potentially. I get faster internet up there in my 4Runner than I do at the house, because all we can get at the house is DSL. They won't run cable to our neighborhood. I get it faster on my phone. Straight ahead. I think this tumbleweed wants to race. I challenge you to a race, sir. Hello, buddy, you can do it. Pick up the pace. It was funny on my way here. I was like trying to avoid hitting tumbleweeds on the highway, going like 75. I totally took one out, smashed it. 100 different pieces. It was funny. Maybe we can go check out the wind farm. Oh, it looks so cool over there. I kind of want to go check out the trails over there, and we'll come back. We drive straight forever. Oh, I found some friends. Hello, friends. Moo. Oh. He was just happy to see me. Alright, so the town is this way, but what's that way? Okay, so the trails are that way. I kind of want to check out the town because we're so close. I don't think they have a gas station there, though. It's probably a chainsaw massacre kind of town. Oh, hello, another tumbleweed. Just migrating. Whoa. Whoa, the cloud's like right there. Okay, so I totally missed this because of the gate, but apparently this is a road you can ride on. You just have to keep the gate closed. Oh, this is nice. It's nicer than some of them. It's got like a little latch system. Yeah, someone on my comments said to like always leave the gates how you found them. So if they're like open, you're not supposed to close them unless there's a sign that says keep gate closed. Then I guess you can close it. But if you just find one that's open, probably best to just leave it open because there might be a reason. I was trying to grab the wrong one. Oh, we're racing the antelope. Dang, they're fast. I don't think I can catch them. Well, I don't want to cut them off. Let's scare them. So there's a fence right there. It looks so cool. There's some fast critters. However, I think at some point I am going to do another camera setup. One with like the modern image stabilization. I'm kind of looking at the DJI Action 3 because it has really good microphone support, which is super important. Another lonely windmill that isn't moving in the wind. I'm sure they have to like lock them or something. Maybe they do that just so it doesn't like wear them out. Just having moving parts for no reason. So I think it's a pump for the cow water. Alright guys, it looks like we're at the end of the line here, so I'm just gonna head back to where that wind farm was. Oh, they're all coming down the road, straight at me, turned into zombie tumbleweeds. Oh my goodness. There's, oh my goodness, that's a big one. I kind of want to avoid that one. Oh, it's coming at me. Oh, stay away. Stay away. All right, let's go see the spinny things. See how close we can get to them. Where the spin is at. Oh, look at all the spinnies. Could power the whole land as long as there's wind. These things are so surreal in person. Like you see like photos and videos of them, but these things are huge. Imagine like putting one of those together. It's gotta be a lot of work. There's so many of them. They're like all the way out there and like out there and out there. They definitely put these things in the right spot. Oh, shadows are weird. It's like someone's behind me. Ooh, that one's pretty close. Look at that thing. It's so surreal. Oh, cool, we can go right up to it. It's so huge. It's like hard to really like explain it unless you're here in person. Oh, that'd be so cool to go to the top of one of those. I wonder if it's stairs or if it's a ladder. Anyways, I just wanted to come see these in person just because they're so like, they're so ominous and like strange. But anyways guys, it's getting kind of chilly and windy, but I'm just gonna head back and probably go ahead and get out of here. I gotta work tomorrow. head home. It's about a 2-hour drive.